Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to McFetridge Park in Glenfield. This is the Women's National League. It's the clash between Northern Rovers and Western Springs, who met just 96 hours ago, and it was Springs that prevailed by 4-1. Can they keep that momentum going, or can Northern Rovers catch up to them? We'll find out shortly. Well, it's a two-horse race, as you can see. Eastern Suburbs with 100% record alongside Western Springs. Northern Rovers 8 points adrift in third place. They desperately need to cut that back in this 14-round league format. And that will be intriguing to see whether or not they can achieve that on home ground this afternoon. Well, Western Springs were victorious by 4-1. Let's take a look at how they line up for Coach Ryan Faithfull today. Well, it is a 4-3-3 formation. And again, you'll see that the focal point of this attack is Sam Tafaru. Sophia Garcia has also been a player in form, and in midfield, it's a very, very attacking midfield with goals very much in mind. Emma Pynenberg and Rena Hirano have been the fulcrum for that, and the platform at the back has been equally miserly. Northern Rovers have got to score goals today. It's something that they've been able to do in the Northern League section of the National Women's League format for this year. They managed it also as far as the Kate Shepherd Cup final. And a 4-3-3 formation. Again, Rennie Wazzy is a player to keep an eye on, and they will be desperate to cut this disadvantage back. The coach, Ben Bates, has been around the scene for some time, having formerly worked with Auckland Football Federation, and knows what it takes to win league titles in the women's game. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson. And joining me this afternoon is former football fern and football legend, Maya Jackman. Welcome, Maya.
Thank you, Gordon. It's been too long since we've seen each other, thanks to COVID, but it's great to be here with you today. Looking forward to seeing what Northern Rovers can do today at home. Can they flip the table? It'll be a hard one. Western Springs, as you said, 100% so far.
Well, here are your match officials, led by referee Jack Henderson. Steve Merriman and Yunji Diao are the assistant referees, and Kirsty Whiting is the fourth official. As the two captains come together, pre-match formalities move through swiftly, and you can see there Talisha Green pointing towards the road end, the clubroom's end of McFetridge Park. We were just talking off here about Talisha Green. Would you like to go into that in more detail as we show our age?
Yeah, I caught up with her mum and dad a couple of weeks ago, and they kept saying her name, Talisha Green, and I didn't realise that they were her parents, Lee Green and Geely. And Lee was talking about how he would love to see his daughter get forward a little bit more, and then I clicked. Holy moly, that's your daughter. I'm too old.
Yeah, certainly time goes quickly.
And there she is, hyping up the team, and a lovely girl, and plays just like her dad. Very tenacious.
Well, Rovers are going to need that tenacity this afternoon. Western Springs have been in formidable form. The game on Friday went Western Springs' way, 4-1. But it was a series of late goals that got Western Springs over the line. Emma Pynenberg scored on 54 minutes. Kelly Brown equalised 2 minutes later, and then late goals sort of rattled in from Ines Brown and Takeda.
Tafaru to Garcia. Whistle blowing though. went over the line, I think, for a throw-in, perhaps, or yes.
Well, Maya, you were a big part of the FIFA Women's World Cup draw on Saturday night. What was that like, and how did you feel to be part of that? It was great to see.
Oh, it was great honour. You know, flanked by Carly Lloyd and Gilberto Silva, 2 World Cup winners. Lovely, lovely people, though. It was just a fantastic night to be involved.
Certainly a great incentive for the players in this game, who must be excited ahead of what's to come in July of 2023, both here in New Zealand and in Australia.
Yeah, it'll be a great inspiration for all players, ages, young players, and female and male alike, to have this amazing, massive tournament down here in New Zealand.
Well, so far in this National Women's League game, it's Western Springs who are making all the running. They've earned a free kick on the dugout side of McFetridge Park. Free kick launched towards the penalty box. Rovers are underneath it. They've dealt with the first ball. They've picked up the second. Oh, that was a crunching tackle. Firm but fair from Western Springs.
Takeda there, ever present for Western Springs. She gets up and down really well on the left there. Skillful player, always available.
Oh, that's nicely played. Springs very deliberate and considered as they go about their work. Here's Jess Innes spraying a decent pass. It was just a metre or so behind the intended target.
So Talisha Green on the ball right now. Had a little wee chat to her yesterday. She said that the second goal by Western Springs sort of sucker punched them a wee bit, and they sort of lost continuity between the teams, so they have to tidy up on the little things today. They were missing, or they are missing, a couple of big names.
Well, it's testimony to how well Western Springs have started under Coach Ryan Faithfull. Both they and Eastern Suburbs in a rich vein of form and very easy on the eye, and that's a good touch, and there's a first time shot, but it trundles wide of the target from Pynenberg. Didn't quite catch it, Maya.
No. So Northern missing Michaela Foster, who's now been signed to the Phoenix on a scholarship deal, which is huge for Michaela. She's had a really great National Women's League so far, so it's not a surprise that they've picked her up. But she was a driving force in the Northern Rovers team, so a big loss for them. Estelle Harrison, also a great little midfielder for Northern Rovers, has headed off to Wales. So they've had to do a little adjustments here and there, especially on Friday. They've got Alexis Cook back now from the under-17s. Great to see her back.
Well, one thing that demonstrates, Maya, is that the player development pathway is functioning properly, and Northern Rovers are producing a number of players that going on to professional football, overseas opportunities, and getting into the limelight on the international stage. All very good timing with the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Yes, the door's certainly not closed for a lot of players for the football ferns. I'm sure Yet Kipper will be watching the National Women's League closely as well. You always have some bolters, don't you, that pop into an international team.
Well, it looked like a decent cross on the first sighter, but the offside decision is given. Green launches it long. That's a good win by Jess Innes.
Garcia just trying to find Takeda, but a little bit too hard. Goes out for a throw-in for Rovers. Kate McConnell having to slot into right fullback, normally playing as a right midfielder, and has adjusted well.
Took a bit of a deflection there as it was attempted to be threaded through. It struck Danielle Canham. Still with Western Springs. Innes. That's a decent attempt. Too close to the goalkeeper though. Western Springs just in a period of trying to calibrate their passes and crosses with a bit more accuracy. This is promising from Rovers. Ball played in behind and the flag goes up.
See Kelly Brown there. It's sitting just under Taylor O'Brien for goals scored. 6 at the moment. So they will be looking to use her today to make a comeback from Friday. Wasi just disrupted there by Hirano.
Durham. Durham again, it's a chance for Northern Rovers to push forward from the centre half position. Well, there were 2 Football Ferns internationals coming up against Korea Republic in November 12th and 15th in Christchurch at Orange Theory Stadium. And also following the draw last night, on Saturday night, the fact of the matter is that there's another 4 windows for Jitka Klimkova and her team to focus on and perhaps pick up some useful international matches as they plan a way forward. And you wonder whether or not some of these players may feature in the coming 9 months or emerge on the scene as this ball's cleared by Rovers. Jervis. Tai Timu. It's good from Jervis, and now Peineberg plotting a way forward. Lovely first time pass around the corner. Lovely exchange. Well, I just wonder if there was a shot on there rather than the pass. It was a beautiful manoeuvre that was constructed by Western Springs, and you're just looking for a bit more aggression maybe.
Yeah, I thought Hirano would take a shot there. She's a bit of a prolific goal scorer as well, up there with 6. Maybe just not on the right angle.
Well, Breeze Durham tried to pick out Rennie Wazzy. It has deflected into the favour of Western Springs, who pour forward now. Colby, yes. And ball played through, maybe a hint of offside. Yes, and Jack Henderson, referee, in the right spot at the right time.
Lara Colby, another under-17s. Just come back from the under-17s World Cup in India. Lovely to see her back starting for Springs. Lovely ball into Tafaru by Colby, but unable to capitalise on that.
Well played by Peineberg and Innes. Well, Springs is so comfortable on the ball, but Rovers finding life a little bit difficult in terms of retrieving possession. Innes. Well, Western Springs have got away with one there. Good strength on the ball by Hirano. Jervis. Long ball played forward. It's missed the target of Sam Tafaru. Nice work from Green. Good ball forward.
Nice touch by Kelly Brown. Again, just looking. Oh, picked up again by Canham to Wasi. Back to Brown. They need to hold on to it here, but Brown does love to have a long shot.
Wasn't too far away. It had the distance. Maybe not enough power, but it might have just dropped below the crossbar.
I thought it had for a minute.
Yeah.
This is what she loves to shoot from out wide, and you can see why. It's not a bad shot.
Keely Taylor had to be very, very careful about whether or not to get involved with that, because it just seemed to drop off right at the last moment.
Keely Taylor starting today ahead of Angelique Tui-Samoa. Garcia not quite able to get around to your player, out for a throw-in for Northern. It's McConnell on the ball.
Well read by Jervis. Cushioned header back into midfield.
Tafaru gets forward, looks for Garcia. Not quite accurate.
It's well played by Canham.
Keep going.
Nice little ball down the wing there by Talisha Green, but a little bit too hard for Alexis Cook, who's also back, I think we mentioned before, from the under-17, so nice to have her back. She's a very quick player, not quite fast enough for that one today.
Well, here come Rovers on a foray forward. Managed to have one shot on goal, that one that we just saw from Kelly Brown. But Western Springs look the more likely of the two to create chances.
Hirano looking for Kolpe. Nice ball out to Kolpe. Lovely ball through by Kolpe to Painenberg, but just rolling out. That was a lovely switch of play there by Hirano, finding Kolpe out on the wing. Lovely one touch forward there by Kolpe, but well cut out by Canham for Northern.
Yes, Canham got the defending just right. It's very difficult as a defender to deal with a move that's got the momentum and speed in its favour, and if you can't catch the ball carrier or the ball itself, you've got to get your body into position to try and make the rest of that move as difficult as possible, and Canham achieved that.
Very well.
McIntosh. Oh, that's fallen for Jervis, who's launched it long in behind Talisha Green. the throw taken quickly. The marking is pretty loose here from Northern Rovers. Here's Colby's cross to the far post, headed away by the Rovers defence. Now Rennie Wazzy can't keep it in.
Yes, Tawharu, just a wee bit too much room to turn on that ball there to create an attacking advance. This is Innes finding Tawharu, looking for Kolpe, not quite getting it, but back to Painenberg.
Well, there's little pockets of space starting to open up for Western Springs here. That's across from Kolpe, where again the marking wasn't close enough, and that was a good effort. You could see what was being attempted there from Tawharu, trying to just tuck it into that bottom left-hand corner.
Yes, a lovely cross in by Kolpe, and poorly defended straight back out to Tawharu, and yep, you could see the intention, and she knew it. Just not quite get that bend up like Beckham.
Well, she was just leaning back at the crucial moment, which made it rise and sort of swing away from just inside the right-hand post. Much to the relief of Alan Blount.
Yeah, Northern just not able to contain that possession for long at the moment, whereas Western Springs are finding that pocket of space and able to turn and move forward. Takeda playing it back to Ulavili. They like to move it quickly across the back, Western Springs.
That's a good press from Rovers. Very good press, and now an opportunity down the left-hand side. Jervis has recovered just in the nick of time. Well, it's the first time that we've seen Rovers really aggressively press Western Springs, and they've got something out of it, Maya.
Yeah, they put the pressure on because Western Springs do love to play it across, and if they can get that timing of the defence right and push all their players up as they did, and here they are with a corner.
That's a decent corner to the far post. Jervis has got a head on it.
Cleared by Painenberg.
Well, it's the first spell of sustained pressure on Western Springs defence in this game, and the delivery from that corner was very inviting. It certainly caused Springs some issues.
Bit of a maybe handball there. Kelly Brown. Oh, yep. 2 handballs. Mind you, I wouldn't want one to the face either. So
no, not from that distance. It's still going to have a bit of power on it by the time it hit you in the nose.
Serrano will look for Kolpe again, but offside.
It was a very good idea. The distance of the pass and the position that Kolpe had taken up was just a yard or two out of sync. Would have been interesting to see that turn into a one-on-one from a Western Springs point of view. Kolpe's already shown us a couple of times that her crossing from that right-hand side can be problematic for the Rovers' defence. Here's Canham with space in front of her to perhaps exploit.
Lovely run by Cook, just between the defenders.
Oh, good cross.
Is that Kelly Brown just moving in the wrong direction when she got her head on that. So it was a lovely run by Cook and then a great cross, but maybe Wasi should have yelled a little louder. She was coming forward onto that ball.
Well, you can see the attacking quality and threat that Alexis Cook possesses from that wide area. The corner that was taken, that cross suggests that there's something interesting for Rovers in that area of the pitch. Oh, that's played over the top, and a chance here for Rovers to take the lead. Perhaps it's a block by Ulavili. Good defending.
Great defending. She needed to do that too. Kelly Brown is very good at finding the back of the net. Nice little over the head. And Ulavili coming across at the right second to cut that out.
Here's Wazzy.
So Renee Wazzy, PNG. Dad played for PNG. Maury Wazzy. And PNG will be here in February, won't they, as one of the teams to battle it out for those last spots for the World Cup.
How exciting for Papua New Guinea women's football to be involved in that competition. Throughout the history of the Oceania Football Confederation, they've always been the one team that has been able to dominate the rest of the field out with New Zealand. But as you'll know, because we were both in Lae,
yeah,
Papua New Guinea for the World Cup qualifiers in 2007, and that was a very well followed tournament. Women's football is popular in that country. They've won a lot of Pacific Games gold medals too. One game I remember involving the Ferns was the game played in Port Moresby in 2008 that the Football Ferns won 2-0.
Oh, yeah.
And it came very, very late. Last 10 minutes the goals came.
That was a hairy game, I can tell you. Yeah, the PNG played outstanding. We didn't. So, you know, football's a funny game. Anything can happen. And
yes,
I think a year or two later it was a 14-0 up in Whangarei.
that's right. I remember for Papua New Guinea in that game a player called Desley Sinew who was outstanding. But the backstory to that match was that they had no boots and they were living off 2-minute noodles. So to deliver that performance within the context of women's football, and we heard a lot of those stories at the draw on Saturday night about the pioneering that has had to take place in women's football. That Papua New Guinea generation certainly had a lot to be proud of, even though they came up short. You saw a picture just a moment ago of Ryan Faithfull, the Western Springs coach. His daughter, 6-month-old daughter, is in hospital with a meningococcal disease, and everybody in football wishes Ryan and his family and his daughter all the very best. Many of us have worked with Ryan in other settings within the game, and he's one of football's good guys. And he's certainly done a fine job with Springs and showing a commitment to the club that is over and above the call of duty. Here's Tafaru.
Yes, as a mum, it's never easy when your children are sick, but the meningitis is very, very scary. So yes, we do wish Ryan and his family all the best and for a great outcome. Jervis pushing forward, looking for something up front, but nothing really going.
Frustrating for a central defender. You heard us say, you've not given me anything to hit. When everything looks statuesque up there, sometimes under pressure, you just have to launch the ball forward and
hope
work
for
the
the best.
percentages. Yeah.
Get some territory maybe.
Ulavili. Jervis finds a teammate. Heinenberg for Innes.
Garcia, another great goal scorer for Springs from the USA.
Easy team. Mel, either stay or go, mate.
So You could hear a little bit of a communication breakdown there between the two players. Jewel not quite able to control that one, so it's back in Western Springs' possession. Wasi able to block that pass. Brown, Kelly Brown, unable to find a teammate, but picked up again by McConnell. And out for a throw-in.
Unlucky. At least they can smile about it. That was pretty frustrating for them. Western Springs defence.
Yes. Brown looking for a corner, and it was going out for a throw-in and then bounced back off Garcia for a corner. So nice for Rovers, a little bit unlucky for Springs.
Well, Rovers' delivery from corners on the other side's been pretty good. Have they got the quality to match from the opposite side? Brown to take it. Oh, it's very good. But it's Springs who have won that ball. It's popped back into the mixer, and that is dead easy for the goalkeeper, Keely Taylor.
Yes, this is where they miss Michaela Foster, who's a very good corner taker. She's scored many goals from the corner. Canham, Brown, Jewel. That's all well off, but intentions were right. Canham able to wrestle the ball off. Kelly Brown, good little foot by Ulavili, and Jewel not able to capitalise on that. Needed to get her head over and give it a good drive into towards the goal. Nice little touch by Horano to Takeda.
Quite enjoyed watching Ulavili's defending. She's a very good reader of the game, and whenever Rovers have looked to try and penetrate that back line, she's always got the cover for Jervis and always first to the ball. One of the unsung heroes, perhaps, of a Western Springs team that is firing on all cylinders.
Tafaru. Yeah, centre backs never get any.
No, they don't, do they?
No, they never get any. But man, they get a racking if they let a ball through.
Yeah, it's just one mistake, isn't it?
Yeah. Not speaking from experience or anything.
No, not at all. Garcia. Nice ball in midfield and plenty of space with which to choose what to do next. Lovely switch of play. Taitimu. Inside to Kolpe. Oh, and it was the right idea to the right run, but just miscalculated. You could see it just opening up for Springs.
Yeah, is it Kolpe? Great little player, isn't she? And just has that little deft touch at the end there.
Good turn from Peinenberg. Innes looking to open things up on the left. Picks out Garcia. There's a run by Takeda into the box, and now towards the goalkeeper. Not bad, but again offside. Rovers getting the lion's share of those calls. It shows you just how willing Western Springs are to play high up on the last defender. Take that risk.
Yeah. Yeah, they put that pressure on well on that defence there when the ball's coming in. But Tafaru just a little offside. Made that run a little bit too early. Oh, nice swing of the hips by Kolpe.
Good recovery by Canham. Unlucky to concede the free kick there, but Pynenberg will feel differently, I'm sure.
Yeah, just a mix-up of legs, but Western Springs comes out on top with that one.
Well, half an hour gone at McFetridge Park. It's Northern Rovers 0, Western Springs 0. Round 7 of the Women's National League.
So fairly similar to Friday's game. Very even goal scoring. What do you call it? 0-0 at the same amount of time on Friday. Northern able to keep Springs out.
Good work here from Kolpe and Garcia. Pynenberg trying to work herself into a shooting opportunity. Finds it, and it's blocked. Green with a release ball towards Cook, but it's picked off by Taitimu. Lovely run forward by Kolpe to pick up on Tafaru's through ball, and sadly no final product.
Yes, lovely ball by Sam Tafaru. Lovely run by Kolpe. But wasn't able to pull it back into the 6-yard box for her teammates running on.
I like the way Lara Kolpe sees space to attack. It's almost multi-dimensional, the way that she's thinking. You know, we saw that earlier with the through ball that was played it was played too early, and Pynenberg couldn't get there, but the idea in her head was there. And sooner or later with a player like that, they're going to get one right, as Rovers take their build-up very much into dangerous areas, but they've got away with it. Willing to risk possession. Maisie Jewell now Breeze Durham. McIntosh's ball forward was intended for Wazzy, and she's done well to wrestle possession for her team. Canham. And intelligently done by Lily Taitimu. Brown tried to tee it up for a teammate, but that's been picked off by Rena Hirano. There's Takeda. Good touch in midfield from Garcia. Keeps a run going. Well-timed pass. Players need to get into the box. And unfortunately for Western Springs, that attack comes to a premature closure. That's what you said, Maya. This is very evenly balanced. Certainly no reflection on Friday night's scoreline, where Springs won 4-1.
Yes, I think most of that did come in the second half, or all of it, didn't it? Taitimu finding Kolpe. Lovely ball, right idea again by Kolpe. Reads the game really well, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's almost one step ahead. Well, she is.
Yeah.
Playing one step ahead of her teammates in many instances. That ball played forward needed a more aggressive run to go and collect it, but like I said just a moment ago, she's going to get one sooner or later, and Northern Rovers could be in a bit of a problem if that happens. Good press by Kolpe.
Northern trying to play it out, but Western Springs pressing. Fortunately, falls to Wasi, who finds Brown. What can Brown do? You've got Canham
Keep going, Lily!
barreling down the middle here.
That's a great individual battle, won by Jervis in the end.
Wasi has a shot.
Ooh. Great effort. That's what Rovers need, more aggression and self-belief and drive, and this was well set up by the run from Brown, and then Wazzy had a crack at it. Just couldn't keep it down, but the idea, again, was perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, just maybe a little touch too hard for Wasi to then be able to get over the top of it. But a great effort. Wasi played for Jenny Bindon at LMU in the States for a short period, connecting Kiwis with Kiwis. Jenny Bindon, ex-Football Ferns goalkeeper.
Yes, and also my ex-next door neighbour.
Oh.
I saw her at the draw on Saturday night, and we turned and saw each other, and she said hello, and I said hello, neighbour. We lived next door to each other for about 3 years.
In Albany?
Yeah. So Sunnynook, I think
right,
it was.
Yeah.
So here's Rovers with the free kick in a wide area, the clubroom's end of McFetridge Park. It's not a bad delivery again. Western Springs have to do all the defending, all the work here.
Well, there's ever-present Jervis for Western Springs. She does a great job at the back there for them. She's already cut out some important runs through by Northern. A little bit of pinball there with both teams. Falls for Northern Rovers. Wasi and Jervis having a bit of a battle there. There's a battle here between Wasi and Jervis, and
Ouch.
Jervis long ball through to Tafaru, taken well. Lovely by Kolpe again. Tafaru has got Garcia running through. Just a little. Good run by Garcia, just not executed by Tafaru as they would have hoped.
Now Springs have struggled for an out ball at times. Not all the time, just occasionally. But Tafaru showed some improvement in that area. Here's Garcia with the cross, comes shot that goes straight into the arms of Blount.
Harano through to Takeda. And Garcia with a crack, isn't it? Brown is trying to 1-2 to herself, but Ulavili again getting that boot in.
Class just threading it through the legs of Brown as well. Might not have the pace, but certainly has a determination to chase down opponents.
Yeah, and reads the back line really well.
Yeah.
Intercepts really well when she needs to. So what she lacks in perhaps pace, she definitely makes up for with intelligence on where to be and how to get her foot in at the right time. Green finds Elliott. Elliott looking for Canham, but a little too hard. Gives Western Springs back possession. And Durham just heading that out.
Well, both teams have created a smattering of half chances, but neither goalkeeper's really been tested yet. as we head in towards the halftime break, just under 4.5 minutes of the regulated 45 to go. Last whatever stoppages Jack Henderson and his referee team choose to tag on. Corner kick for Rovers, much to the disappointment of Arisa Takeda.
Here's Alexis Cook there. Battled it out for a corner. It's her first game back for Northern after the World Cup in India, where they weren't able to fire like our last under-17s team did with that bronze medal win. But put in a good innings against Germany, I felt, in their last pool game. Garcia looking to play back, but chopped it out for Rovers throw-in. Oh, lovely play there by Northern. Little touch for Brown. Oh, Canham just could not get on the end of that, but there was a lovely phaser play there out on the right wing. Let's have a look again. Little touch there, and Brown crosses on point. Canham's, oh, there was a page of paper between that and her head, I think.
Lily Taitimi did really, really well to just do enough to put her off as also, because all that needed was just a forehead and it's in the back of the net. But you don't want to get too close and then have Canham go down and concede a penalty.
Or score an own goal sometimes in those instances. But what a lovely little touch there. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been Alexis Cook again.
Well, that goes down as the best chance of the half for me. And Northern Rovers have a spring in their step.
Western spring in their step.
I was thinking, how am I going to work that one in? And I let it hang for a couple of beats, and you've jumped in there, Maya. Well done. Oh, dear. You want to hear what the producer's saying. Here's Wazzy. Away by Jervis. Tafaru, who's dropped deep this time. Garcia's made a run forward, so too Colby, but Talisha Green was all over that. Cook to her skipper. Rovers knocking the ball about with confidence now. McConnell picks up the throw-in. 1 minute of additional time to be added on at the end of the 45.
Yes, Harry will tell you I'm known for my dad jokes.
Well, the game is young yet, so still a second half to come. If there's a starvation of goals, we may well dip into the reserves of Maya Jackman's comedy set, as Garcia's dispossessed. Actually, I had heard about your reputation for dad jokes. I can't quite remember where, so I am looking forward to a sampling in the second half. Garcia.
Colby. Oh, she just got a bit of a shoulder there by a defender and kind of cut her off her line of run, but Tāwharu to Garcia, who puts it in, and Blount happy to be in possession of that one.
Oh, lovely touch and turn there.
Well brought down by Taitimu, finding Kolpe, who's always available.
Innes. Garcia comes in off the line now from the inside, tries one from distance. Worth a go. And that proves to be the final act of an interesting first half in which these two teams have created, on the balance, an even number of chances but have failed to score. Canham's attempt from the cross in the wide area towards the end of the half is about the best that we've seen. And Renee Wazzy also had a shot on goal that just went wide. Half-time at McFetridge Park. Northern Rovers 0, Western Springs 0.
Patterson, wayward pass, Hirano intercepts that on that occasion. Garcia, Hirano now, one-on-one. Here's Hirano. Oh, great footwork. And it's in. It is a goal from Hirano. Well, thought that one may get away from her, but she did choose to find the back of the net on that occasion. Lena Hirano. A bit of pressure playing off for Western Springs. Pressure too from Jackson. Here she is again. The second chance, and it's a goal. Suburbs have struck straight back against Northern Rovers this afternoon. Devon Jackson. One-on-one with Uru really does well. And on target, what a strike. Petra Buick. Fantastic strike. What a run from the substitute. Thoroughly deserved too. She's been quite on the star for Canterbury since she's been on. Trying to force things. What a fantastic strike by her. Settle again. Yoshida again opens her body up so well. Allows her to play that one first time. A shot from Yoshida, and it's a goal. Michaela Foster could not get that to that one. And Saki Yoshida, the third goal for Eastern Suburbs this afternoon. Well-worked goal from Yoshida.
Oh, lovely turn. That's beautiful from Painenberg. And she released the pass. She does to Kolpe. Best football of the match so far. To the edge of the penalty area. And that is the best goal of the match. And that is superb. Tāwharu with the finish. But beautifully crafted. And it all started with Emma Painenberg. What a turn in midfield and releasing Kolpe. And again, she found a teammate with the cross.
Well, if we look at the top goal scorers so far, we have Taylor O'Brien from Eastern Suburbs on 10, Kelly Brown, who we are seeing today against Western Springs, on 7, Rena Hirano for Western Springs sitting on 6. She'll be looking for a 7th or 8th today. Jess Innes, Western Springs, so quite a few there for Western Springs. Devon Jackson on form for Eastern Suburbs, sitting on 5. Bree Johnson, Auckland United on 4. Michaela Foster, who's out of this league now into the Phoenix, on 4, sharing those with Sophia Garcia and Juliet Lucas.
Some very, very fine players in that list and scorers of some great goals. Well, Cashmere Technical and Melville United met in the Men's National League Championship, and it was the South Islanders who dominated the team known as the Pride of the Waikato at Gower Park. Melbourne United have struggled to replicate their form from their Northern League efforts, and they desperately needed to pick up a first victory of the summer season. Could they do it? That was a question. Garvin Coughlin was the key for Cashmere Technical, but it was Jacob Richards who caused problems down the right-hand side, and it was Technical that almost opened the scoring first. Sam Wilkinson had rejigged his team, putting Aaron Scott into midfield. Wasn't too much of a successful experiment as Jacob Richards knocked that volley into the back of the net to give the South Islanders the lead. Fine strike. Sam Lapsley was a standout in midfield, but this goal created and finished by Garvin Coughlin was the highlight of Technical's afternoon. Lapsley spotted Garvin Coughlin, who then played around Raheem Hunter before slotting beyond Max Tommy. 2-0. Melbourne United caused Technical some issues from the long throw and from corners. They were rewarded for their efforts when Colotti managed to get the ball past Danny Knight. Luke Searle's long throw, a constant menace throughout the afternoon. Goal scorer, in fact, Ryan Lawrence. But Melbourne United were guilty of missing a number of gilt-edged chances to get back into the game. Things just aren't going their way. Jerson made this fantastic run down the right-hand side, whipped it across the face of goal, and Tom Schwartz picked the ball up off Danny Knight's save. Another chance goes begging. Raheem Hunter getting in the way of Luke Searle. But try as Melbourne United might, they could just not find a way through. Lapsley picked up on that loose ball. Garvin Coughlin, you'd think he would have finished on his left. He picked it out with the outside of the right boot, and that made it 3-1. Heavy touch from Galletley. Lapsley read it like a book. Look at this finish. Left foot? Nope. Right foot. Wonderful goal by the Irish striker. Melbourne United kept at it, trying to find a way back in, but they were blunt in the top third, and it was a victory for Cashmere Technical by 3-1. Their first victory since the opening day thrashing of Miramar Rangers in Christchurch by 4-0. So 4 rounds of the Men's National League Championship have been played, and Auckland City FC at the top by just a point. Wellington Olympic breathing down their necks on 9 points. Auckland United and Birkenhead both in 3rd and 4th respectively. And it's just a 3-point spread between 1 and 4. Only 2 teams make it through to the final, and there are big, big games coming up next weekend. Well, it's a Dominion Road derby that will capture everybody's attention next Saturday at Keith A Park. Auckland United taking on Auckland City FC. United, the only team to beat Auckland City across 44 games in the calendar year. Can they do it again and at the same venue?
Auckland City are both lucky, but they still give possession away. So shooting opportunity, deflection, just hits the post, and on the rebound they scored early. This is a stunning opening from Birkenhead, and it's their captain, Sam Burfoot, who scores, and it seems incredible after just 3.5 minutes to say that it's been coming, but it has.
Joe Poole, and Raboku managed to find his way past one opponent. Got Wilkinson just to his left, who's lined up the shot. Oh, that's a fine finish. What a goal by Eddie Wilkinson. Set up by Raboka. Christchurch back in business.
And here is Tade with Howison sweeping forward. This is looking likely here for Auckland City. Ellison early ball in, and there is the goal, beautifully done. Ryan de Vries opens the scoring. Superb combinations from the attacking trio.
Dylan Hobson with the corner kick. Flipped into the near post, and it's won by Birkenhead, and it's in the back of the net. It's Dino Bonica. The home side sees the initiative just before the hour mark, to the delight of the Shepherd's Park crowd. Gully onto the right foot, beautiful pass. Jack Henry Sinclair's onside.
Nice goal.
That's a brilliant finish by Jack Henry Sinclair. One of the most exciting players in the National League Championship. And Wellington Olympic doubled the lead.
Tade, heavy first touch, maintains possession. Tade, near post, what an equaliser! Emi Tade, you are a magician.
Well, some wonderful goals scored in the National League Championship, and no doubts many more to come as the heat gets cranked up as they head towards that grand final. Well, an interesting first half that really was end to end. Colby was a clear standout for Western Springs. Sam Tafaru, this was a good chance. Just couldn't quite wrap her foot around it. Northern Rovers also had chances of their own. Look at this for a piece of innovation over the top of Jervis, and then great coverage at the back by Ulavili. Canham showing a lot of determination to set up this particular effort, but again Ulavili getting involved. Tafaru spotted a run forward for Colby, who was busy throughout that first half, always looking for space, always trying to create things. And equally, Kelly Brown. Renee Wazzy almost opened the scoring with this thoughtful effort from distance. Garcia whipped that one in towards Alan Blount, who has been ever so reliable today. But this was a great opportunity, best opportunity of the half, wound in towards Canham, and Tai Timu getting very close to her opponent, but not so close that she would concede a penalty or put the ball in the back of her own net. So, what can we expect in the second half, Maya?
Well, it's been very even, hasn't it? And we did see Western Springs initially sort of have more possession, but as the game's gone on, I think Northern Rovers has stepped it up a little bit. And as we saw, that last chance right near the end of the first half was the best that we've seen. So I think we'll be seeing Northern doing a little bit of the same, maybe trying to hold on to the position a little bit better around the back and finding feet into midfield. They seem to be trying to hit it long a few times where it could be sort of played into feet. So maybe looking at keeping possession a little longer so that they're not turning it over. Western Springs are very decent at the back for cutting out those long balls. And Western Springs just need to, I mean, Colby's great, isn't she? She's very, very busy in and around, very good footballing brain there. Tafaru, the outplayer, possibly needs to provide a little bit more of an out for Western Springs for Colby to find, and maybe sit more central for Western Springs to find. But some very good football on from both sides.
Yeah, I like the way that Western Springs have been able to change the way that they've played, like they're switching of the play from side to side. And when they get those attacking wide players really high and they get that pass right, it puts Northern Rovers in all sorts of problems, particularly when you get Colby going one-on-one with somebody or cutting inside and making intelligent nuisance-type runs for the defence to deal with. It's been very good to watch.
Yes, Harano's done that very well a few times, finding Colby, and Colby just sits out there on that wing, and sometimes so she'll get it, play it, and then she'll drift into the middle a little bit, or just sneak those deft passes through to an on-running player. And like you said, if she's close to making something happen there for Western Springs for sure. If they could just get those little bits and pieces tidied up in that attacking third, I think we'll see a goal or two.
So, back underway at McFetridge Park. Second half of the National Women's League clash between Northern Rovers and Western Springs. The second time they've met inside 4 days on this long weekend. As Garcia gets to the byline, takes a deflection, corner for the visitors.
We've seen, I think Harano and Tawharu may have switched positions where Tawharu's sitting a little deeper now and Harano sitting a little higher, so that may see something happen for Western Springs. It's that little change. But they have definitely started the second half with a rip and a roar with a corner for them.
Decent corner. Well played. Oh, and it stuffed the line. Wow.
Jervis just getting up, sitting up there, the centre back. Lovely ball in by Takeda and
Kate McConnell.
McConnell on the spot. And Ellen Blount picks that up, breathes a sigh of relief.
That was a beautifully taken corner. It was perfect, absolutely perfect, and it was met with just the right amount of power and accuracy, but the goalkeeper, Ellen Blount, will be most grateful to see Kate McConnell hack that one off the line. You were saying McConnell's not always playing it right back as well?
Yeah, she's had to slot in as the under-17s have been away for Sawyer Herring, who's been at under-17, so they've had to switch things around a little, and McConnell's had to go into the fullback position and has done very well to make that transition.
Yeah, exception. She might find herself at right back more often after that moment. Good work from Wazzy to dispossess Springs. Brown keeps the momentum going. Good recovery.
There's Jervis again, either trying to score a goal or defending really well at the back there. Captain for Western Springs. Oh,
There's
Brown. That would have been great if it was on target.
Yeah, it was adventurous.
She knows it.
Yeah. Why not?
Little header there, and Kelly Brown. Very adventurous, but entertaining for sure.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You know, on another day you try things and they come off. And if you're going to try something, you may as well do it right in front of the D.
Takeda through to Garcia, a little bit too hard for Garcia.
Well, another game has just kicked off in the National Women's League. Capital Football taking on Central. Central desperately seeking their first point of the season. Currently with 6 defeats from 6 games. It's been a hard road for them to trek. Capital, just 4 points. Here's Colby. Nice touch from Peineberg. Tawharu. Taitimu, another good cross. Well played by Green to get it clear. And Maisie Jewell miscuing completely, and now Western Springs have the initiative again.
Taitimu looking for Tafaru. Wasi now pushing forward.
Oh, look at the pace here from Wasi.
Brown having to just hold off her run for a little bit.
Now
Alexis Cook, what can she do? Nice little cut back, and it's in! Alexis Cook back from the under-17s. What a goal for Northern Rovers on the counter. Wasi, nice little touch through to Kelly Brown, who finds Cook, and nice little step back, beats Takeda and the goalkeeper, and that's 1-0 for Northern Rovers. Alexis Cook.
Well, towards the end of the first half, we saw Northern Rovers develop more of an aggressive, direct approach, and it started with Wasi with that shot that she had, and there she was again, picking the ball up in space and just driving right through to the heart of the Springs defence. And the finish from Alexis Cook was a joy to behold. Northern Rovers 1-0 up.
Brown onto a little bit of a miscommunication between Elliott and Cook there. I think Elliott wanted Cook just to move out of her line as she was moving forward to make some space. But yes, Wasi, she actually had a bit of a run with the Ferns at the She Believes Cup. So she's definitely a decent player. Lots of speed. Tafaru finding Painenberg. Elliott able to pick that up, but maybe a little touch too many, and Painenberg back on the ball, a little touch through to Kolpe, but cleared well there by Rovers. Innes looking for Garcia. Well defended there by McConnell, but beaten by Innes this time. Oof. I think we may have McConnell maybe down. Not too sure, but here we go. Innes beating McConnell, crossing it, and well kept out by Alan Blount.
Alan Blount wasn't happy with the way that her defence just opened up there, and perhaps had a case as this corner swung into the far post.
Oh!
Well, that's ended up in the back of the net, and
What's going on here?
well, the referee has spotted something.
Not really.
That's a penalty kick.
Well, they,
They've already put the ball in the net.
yeah, so Taitimu, great header, but has decided to, let's have a look at this. Jervis taken down, but Taitimu with the header and Green not able to clear it. Interesting.
Well, I've seen that happen in some European football this season, where a ball has ended up in the back of the net and the referee has pulled it back for a penalty kick.
So Takeda, can she make it count for the second time? They'll feel a little bit hard done by if not, but she does. Well taken, and Western Springs answers back to the Northern Rovers goal a little bit earlier, and it's the same scenario but backwards from Friday, as Northern Rovers answered quite well to the goal that Springs had scored. Well taken by Takeda. Blount went the right way, but too much power by Arissa Takeda, and her heart was beating, she was saying. She had to make that one count. So what can Northern Rovers do now to counter that one? Nice little ball through to Cook, but...
Well, it says that goal says two things about Northern Rovers, doesn't it? It's like Friday's game, they were 1-0 down, then within 2 minutes, Springs, crawl back. Oh, sorry, they crawl back from 1-0 down, and then here today, as you said, it's happened in reverse. But Western Springs had their nose poked a little bit.
They did poke
And
the bear.
They created that shot at the near post. They come back with a goal from the corner. They score the penalty kick, and Rovers now have a big question to answer. Can they hang on? Because when things went all square last time, they ended up getting...
Yes, they lost their composure, didn't they,
Yeah.
as a team, and now they have to, you know, keep that composure and remind each other that there's still a long time to go in the game, and there's every chance that they can score again and be back on top. So not to panic just yet. Elliott going for a run, picks out Wasi, lovely ball. What can Wasi do? It finds Kelly Brown. Is she on? Oh, that was a chance gone begging for Kelly Brown. It was a really well worked starting from Elliott, Wasi, and Kelly Brown finding the goalkeeper instead of the goal. But that's what they need to keep doing now to counter the Western Springs goal. Hirano. Kolpe, lovely little ball through to Painenberg. Cut out though by Elliott, who started that almost potential goal. Oh,
pulling out all
some
the party
skills from the
tricks.
centre back. You want to see Maya Jackman doing that?
No, not in her own third.
or anywhere. Oh, Kelly Brown now, lovely little ball through, and she shoots, and what a save by Keely Taylor. She had to. Lovely ball through for Kelly Brown, and she loves shooting from here, and she gave it a crack, but Keely Taylor, thank you, says Jervis. But they're not out of jail yet. Corner for Northern. Jewel putting it not quite high enough. Cook back to Elliott, who finds Cannon, but back with Elliott. Little chip over for Wasi.
That was a foul all day long. I think she knew it. You could
Yeah.
see that.
Bit of a grin there.
Yeah.
Innes finds Garcia, a bit of a heavy touch though. Lovely little one touch from Brown, who looks to get it back from Jewel, but picked up by Western Springs there. Oh yeah, clash there with Green, always an aggressive force there for Northern Rovers, just like her dad. Ulavili for Hirano, who finds Garcia, but McConnell doing very well there at right fullback. It is quite similar to right mid, but you do have to get back and forward a lot more as a fullback sometimes. Tafaru with a lot of space through to Garcia.
Did well there, under pressure. Western Springs have retained the ball though. Taitimu. Heidenberg and Innes are dispossessed. Now Brown, that's a good run down the left-hand side by Alexis Cook, but Jervis on the spot, as always, to deal with the danger as we hit the hour mark. Northern Rovers 1, Western Springs 1. Well, if it were to end like this, Eastern Suburbs would be pretty happy, I would imagine.
They would put them well clear there at the front. Talisha Green has a great long throw for Rovers.
Yeah, it's not a result that suits Rovers though. Nothing would change. That 8-point gap between third and second would stay in place for another week. And there's 7 rounds left to play, so they need to grab another goal. They need to put Western Springs under pressure.
Jewel, McConnell into Cook. Well read by Harano. Oh, nice little step over by Jewel, but wasn't able to find someone for her. Garcia pokes it through for Tafaru. Tafaru's on her own though. Kolpe was coming in, but there was a lot of Northern Rovers able to pick that one up.
Garcia works her socks off in these moments where she can press and try and win the ball back. Jervis. Tight move for Kolpe. Well played by Green. Switch of play. And Green is taken out of the action. Free kick for Northern Rovers.
Yeah, little nip of the heel there by Kolpe. Yes, Northern struggling to hold on to position. They do have it back with Canham, but picked up by Painenberg. There's a lot of tussling going on over there on the right hand side for Western Springs.
Well played by Talisha Green. McConnell came for the ball aggressively, out of position now. If Western Springs can exploit that opportunity, here's Takeda.
Harano.
And, oh, well, that's a risky manoeuvre. I don't think I'd have seen you do that either.
Maybe by mistake. Wasi going on her own. What can she... Oh, she could have kept going. Tried to lay it off to Brown, but she just wasn't on the same page. I think she could have just kept going towards goal there. Kenham. Oh, cut out by Harano, though. Not finding Jewel, but... Jewel putting a little pressure on. Ulavili. Springs just happy to keep it and find some space there in deep liar. Garcia. She's got Tafaru on the left, but she's going to take a shot, but easily picked up for Alan Blount. Blount looking to go long.
Well, almost halfway through the second half. Northern Rovers 1, Western Springs 1. Can the home side fashion a second goal to try and change the complexion of their playoff hopes, their grand final hopes? I think if Rovers can get the ball to Wazzy in those spaces, and then the next thing she decides is I'm going to go all the way, they can get that second goal. They can go on and win this game. Twice we've seen it, 3 times actually across the course of the 65 minutes. When she's made up her mind that she's going to go direct, she can be a big, big problem for any defence.
Yes, and then you just have the other front runners and the midfielders making sure they're backing up anything that she's trying to do. If she has a shot, if it comes out, they're there to pick it up. When you see her go, you go with.
It was actually one of the things I was going to say when Northern Rovers scored the goal. Ulaveli, who we were saying in the first half was a very good reader of the game. Because of Wazzy breaking that line, she made one mistake. She came off that 18-yard box, and that was where the gap opened up just in behind her. And that's what that type of quality can do. It can make players who normally make sound decisions make incorrect ones.
Yeah, you second guess, don't you?
Yeah.
Do I go? Do I stay? Do I hold? What should I do?
It's a completely understandable decision by Ulaveli to go towards the ball carrier, but on that occasion, Wazzy got the better of her opponent. Here she is again. Still going. Shot blocked.
Jewel.
Rovers queuing up.
Yeah, just not enough on that one to cause Keely Taylor any problems. So here's Wazzy again, blocked by Taitimu, and Jewel, just not enough gas on that one. Well battled there by Green. Wazzy, oof. Jervis again getting banged around a bit today. The Green battled well, found Wasi. So we have Sam Tafaru coming out for Springs, and Celia Mayo coming in for her. Let's see what Celia Mayo can do as an impact player coming on for Western Springs. Jervis ball into the box. Little touch by Hirano. Blount looking to push this one as far as she can. Garcia, Springs pick it up now. Innes. But good defending there by Jewel, didn't let her turn out and play it out to the left-hand side. And a throw in for Northern. Picked up by Hirano, who finds Kolpe. Garcia, falling over the ball, and Green says, thank you very much, I'll have that. Finding Wasi, here she goes. She is going straight for goal. Brown has to time her run. And finding Cook. Lovely ball through. Oh, just cut out by Jervis. Otherwise, Kelly Brown was coming on top of that one. And Mayo makes an impact.
Well, Northern Rovers are about to make a substitution, we understand. Well, referee going to check on the health of Talisha Green. So I think it's Kate McConnell who's going to come out. And well, on our start list we had earlier Leanna Ryan, but Mackenzie Longmuir was also added to the squad list, so we'll have to wait and see exactly what transpires as we enter the final 20 minutes of the game. Springs taking on refreshments. Next 20 minutes are crucial, I think, for Northern Rovers' grand final aspirations. And Western Springs will want to keep pace with Eastern Suburbs. There's a psychological edge to be gained by finishing in first, if nothing else. Rovers had a fantastic Northern League season. Eastern Suburbs were the team that was struggling, having finished third in that competition, and Springs now, like Suburbs, enjoying rejuvenation at just the right time.
And here we see the substitution for Rovers with McConnell out and Leanna Ryan in. Good attacking threat Leanna Ryan can be for Northern Rovers. Takeda waiting, take the free kick. It's a lovely ball in, cleared by Jewel. So Celia Mayo, the substitution. Not quite sure what happened there. Looked like a ball to the face for Mayo.
No, it was difficult to quite know what Jack Henderson saw there. It's academic now. Heinenberg. Danielle Canham.
Colby, she's come into the middle this time a little bit as they've made a change. Maisie Jewel looking a little uncomfortable there, so maybe some players warming up on the sideline. Heinenberg, Taitimu Garcia, but Blount will pick that one up. We've got now Talisha Green now on this right hand side, and you'll have Leanna Ryan possibly on that left-hand side.
Here's Colby. Heinenberg. Garcia making a lovely little run in behind, and Colby was just sitting there waiting for that cutback. Garcia, who's normally very good from the wide areas and picking out teammates, perhaps didn't get her head up in enough time to be able to see that opportunity, but that was very well done. And that was unfortunately not able to be matched in terms of quality. But that said, Western Springs have a corner. 15 minutes to go. Rovers 1, Western Springs 1. And Springs not disguising their intentions here. Oh, that's cut out by Rovers, but nice to see something from the training ground employed. Jervis. Cross into the box is decent, but Mayo just doesn't have the height to make the connection.
Green over the top, finds potentially Brown, but out for a throw-in for Springs. Northern Rovers not happy with that decision.
Nicely played by Mayo.
Hirano facing forward now. Well cut out by Green and Elliott.
Well, this was the point in Friday's game where Northern Rovers completely collapsed. And here goes Colby, and not a bad effort.
Just asking for a corner. I think it's been given. Nice little touch there by Colby, and then beats Durham, and Elliott has a shot, and I think that's come off Canham for a corner. Into the box this time, and Jervis, Garcia, but that's skied high.
That's a good first save by Blount, who felt the effects of her efforts. It's another look at the corner kick. Jervis running to the middle of the 6-yard box. And getting up. Didn't quite connect goalwards, but Blount doing very, very well.
Making
to
sure,
block,
sorry,
Hirano.
Gordon, making sure she gets up again for that second, and then it's put over the top, and she definitely feels the effects of that one to the face.
I've seen a couple of really good saves from goalkeepers in both men's and women's National League Championship games this season where they've saved it with the face. There was one with Silvio Rodic against Angus Kilcolly where he got it full on, but he had to do it. And again, Blount showing similar commitment. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be effective.
Yes, I don't envy goalkeepers, but
Oh, no, they made their choice.
yes, I was just going to say, but but that's where they go.
It's the thought that they actually sat down and decided to make that decision that baffles most of us, but the game is so much less without the eccentricity of those between the sticks.
Taitimu for Garcia. Pressure by Jewel. But Springs playing some lovely football to get out and then switching it out. Ulivili finds Colby. well read by Green. One back by Colby though, she's everywhere. There's lots of space. Picks out Garcia really well. And Painenberg is stopped by Ryan, luckily.
We were saying, Maya, that Lara Colby's very good at picking out those passes, but from that short phase of play, what was also noticeable is that Sofia Garcia knows she can pick out those passes. She made that decision to make that run in behind, believing that Colby was more than capable of getting that ball right on the money. As we see this Northern Rovers substitution take place, Maisie Jewell has come off and been replaced by Courtney Noble.
Yeah, so it must be great having Colby back, that quality of a player and knowing what she may do, and Garcia knowing where to be when Colby has the ball.
Garcia with the cross to the near post. That's meat and drink for Blount. Vili. And that was nearly picked off by Wazzy.
A few choice words there. Understandable.
Thumping header from Green.
Noble, first touch of the game for her. Mayo, the other substitute for Springs. Green training Wassey. Great turn by Wassey. Again beating her player. What does she have with her? She's got Noble. Ball out to Cook, who headers it on. No one there though to run on for. Cook, can she get that? Oh, very close.
Maya, do you think Western Springs have got it in them to repeat what they did on Friday? Time's starting to tick away from them.
So I think Rovers is starting to put on that pressure that they did when they were down the first goal on Friday, and managing to maintain it a little longer this time. Haven't capitulated, but saying that, here comes Hirano. She's got Garcia to her right. It's run a little too far across Garcia to have a shot, whilst Rovers were still tracking back. They've had to recycle it back out. Takeda into Hirano, back to Takeda. Takeda to Painenberg. Takeda everywhere. Painenberg has a shot, but well worked by Springs. Takeda just offering support everywhere, but Painenberg not able to capitalise on that one.
Lovely little give and go there between the two Western Springs players. Just lacked the finish. And I wonder how much fatigue is playing a part now that 2 games inside 4 days into the final 10 minutes or so, and perhaps there's that sharpness that was there on Friday's no longer part of the equation. It's going to come down to which team wants it most.
Yeah, it is a sharp turnaround. What did you say? 90?
Yeah, it's 96 hours.
96 hours,
and it was a late kickoff for both teams on Friday.
So recovery and fueling is very important when you've got a really short turnaround.
Oh, that's a good cross.
That's a great ball. Cook, Brown, but Jervis again, ever present for Springs. It's a great little run by Green. Her dad will be happy. That's what he's been wanting her to do all season. And almost paid off.
Well, 5 minutes to go. Out of the 90 minutes, 1-1. Eastern Suburbs about to take on Auckland United in the next match today, and Suburbs with a game in hand now.
So we're seeing a substitution here for Northern Rovers with, for Western Springs. It's not a happy sight for Rovers. Talisha Green looking in some pain. Captain, it'll be a sad loss for them if she exits right now. But we will be seeing Jess Innes coming off and Helena O'Connor coming on for Western Springs. Bit of a glute stretch there. She doesn't look happy though. Maybe lower back stuff.
No, she doesn't look happy at all. That's no good.
Really see what happened in this moment for Green. She is going to have to come off. I think she'll come back on though. She's a tough cookie. So we see Helena O'Connor warming up a bit there on the pitch for Springs. Jess Innes off. Long ball through for Brown, but unable to get on top of that one. She will put some pressure on, or try to. Olivia O'Connor, first touch. Nice little touch and turn by Cook. Wasi finding Noble. Ryan touching forward, beating Garcia. Finds Wasi. Colby cutting that one out.
Well, Rovers need another goal. They definitely need another goal to eat into this 8-point deficit. Just wonder if they've given everything they can, and there's not much more they can do. That looked like handball, and indeed Jack Henderson agrees. Equally, can Western Springs pinch this game and maintain pressure on Suburbs? Nice pass.
Oof.
Well, 4 minutes additional time, so still plenty of opportunity for both teams to find a winning goal.
Ryan trying to clear that, but goes no further than Western Springs player. Talisha Green manages to clear that one. Nice to see her back on. Ryan finding Wasi. Nice little turn. We'll find Cook. Nice ball over to Brown. Can she cut in? Jervis falls over. Can she take... Who was that? Olivia again covering well. Durham getting a foot in, but Garcia popping that one over the back four, but no support for that running through by Springs. McIntosh.
Well, Ryan Faithful sitting there pensively for more than football reasons, I'd imagine, but he can be proud of his team, because it looks as though at the very minimum they're going to come out of this with another match undefeated, although that 100% record looked as though it's slipping away. Good pass. Good return ball, perhaps. No, not quite.
So I added 4 minutes to this second half. It's sitting 1-1 draw at the moment. Either one of these two teams could change that in the next 4 minutes. Could it be Rovers with Wasi?
Oh. Well, I thought this was rather more serious than it looked. I thought it was head-to-head at first, but it was shoulder to face.
So she was going up for that header. So we've got another substitution for Springs, just getting some extra legs in this last couple of minutes. Got Anya Irvine coming on and Sophia Garcia coming off. Teammate finding Harano. Ryan able to clear that one as far as Kelly Brown. Wrestled off by Painenberg. Battled hard today as the captain for Western Springs.
Yeah, she's got a strong physical presence and shows a willingness to always put her body on the line, whether it's in her own goal box or the goal box at the other end of the pitch. And, you know, she's got height as well, which is also advantageous for that type of thing. And is a good leader. She's had a very good game.
Noble not able to get on top of that one, but Ryan cut out by Springs. She's...
Well, there's 30 seconds to go of the additional 4 minutes. Here's O'Connor. That's a decent pass.
Mayo. Oh, needed to hit the byline, I think, for that and see if she could get it into players coming on. So can Rovers answer with a shot on goal themselves?
Well, there it is. It has finished as a 1-1 draw here in the Women's National League clash between Northern Rovers and Western Springs. Alexis Cook scored after 50 minutes, and Arisa Takeda equalised with the penalty kick just 3 minutes later. That means that Western Springs, well, of course, they remain undefeated, but they have dropped their 100% record, and they are temporarily, at least for now, top of the table. Northern Rovers have failed to cut down that massive 8-point gap. Final score, Northern Rovers 1, Western Springs 1.